Hi,
Hi, I'm Kathy,
and I'm Maddie.
and we are Wheelchair Adventures. And today we wanted to tell you about a fabulous cruise that we took from Iceland to Boston.
Yes.
And Iceland was never on my radar. And you thought, well, it'd be a cool place to visit sometime, and definitely not with Maddie. But I got an email from Celebrity, and it says Iceland and Greenland cruise, a 12-night cruise. I'm like, So I looked it up, and I said to Maddie and my husband, how about if we do this? This looks like fun. Maddie will be able to see Iceland and Greenland, and even if she's in a wheelchair. And it sounds like fun. We only have to go one way, and we end up in Boston, and then we'll just fly home. So we did that, and at first you were like, yeah, I don't know about Iceland. And what do you think now?
It was great.
It was great, yes.
It's cold, but...
It was cold. It was summertime in Iceland, and it was cold, but it was so worth it.
It was fun.
So this was on the Celebrity Summit, and we left from Reykjavik, Iceland. And Maddie, we showed you her room, her suite, or not, she wasn't in a suite, her stateroom in another video, and it was really large, and it was in the aft part of the ship, which is the back, and she had the largest balcony I've ever seen on any ship. And you could fit 20 people on that balcony.
I don't know about that.
There were 6 of us, and we had plenty of room to run around. So it was just really great. And like I said, we've showed a video of the stateroom in another video. And on this particular ship, on the Summit, they have several rooms in the aft part of the ship, which is the very back, which are accessible. I think there's 2 concierge class, which Maddie was in, and then there's an aqua class. And then they have, I believe, 26 accessible staterooms on that ship. And it was very nice. Everything was accessible. There was just one thing that was not accessible, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we start, I want to tell you about these great little things that they have to put your luggage tag in. They used to be, and we just went on a cruise and we actually got one. It was a different cruise line. They used to send you sticky things that you put on your suitcases so that they can identify what room to bring the luggage to. But they don't do that on Celebrity. So when you get your final paperwork, you can print out the tags, and then they just slip right in here, and then this goes around your handle on your suitcase, and it's amazing, and you can use it over and over again.
I've never seen those before.
You haven't? Haven't you been paying attention to your luggage? Because we've used them on all of our Celebrity cruises that we've been on.
Sorry.
Yeah. See, Maddie? Something new. So anyway, so the Summit is a very good ship. There's just a few things that we found. One was the theater only had seating in the back, and we went to some lectures, but we didn't go to any shows. Probably because I was too tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we were probably out dancing. That's probably it. But there's only seating in the back, where some of Celebrity ships and other ships have accessible seating in the front, and they have an elevator. Yeah, so you can see better for people like Maddie who have a difficult time seeing.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things. But they were really good about helping us on and off the ship. Every time we went on shore, there was someone there, because sometimes there's a bit of a ramp or a little bump, a slant. But there was always someone there that would take her on and off the ship. So that was a great
strong
part.
guys.
Some strong guys, right? We always need strong guys. They had we never used the pool because, again, we were in Iceland. Iceland and Greenland.
Yeah, no.
But they do have lifts in the solarium pool and the main pool. All of the other areas were pretty accessible. We were able to do everything we wanted to do. We danced, we played Deal or No Deal, which is another thing we don't particularly like, that they've changed from bingo.
Yeah, I miss bingo.
Yeah, to Deal or No Deal, and it's...
I mean, it's a... Yeah.
Yeah, not that we ever win at anything, but bingo, I felt like I had a better chance of winning.
Yeah, bingo's more fun.
Yeah. The Tuscan Grill, if you've never been to the Tuscan Grill on a celebrity ship, it is amazing. The best filet mignon. What do you think, Maddie? You're the filet mignon girl. Yeah.
So good.
So good. And their potatoes.
Some pasta dishes are really good as well.
Yeah. And the main dining room is always good. They set us at a table that was close to the door, plenty of room for Maddie's wheelchair. The wait staff was amazing. He even cut up her food for her.
Yeah.
Brought her milk every night without having to ask. So, things like that are really make it nice to go on a ship and have the same table and the same wait staff every night, because they get to know you, they know what you like, and it's just a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have? Deck 12. Again, we never went up there because it was cold. But on deck 12, they have an outdoor movie theater, which they show, like they were showing Downton Abbey. And I know my husband and our friends went up there and they froze, but they wanted to see it. They don't have elevator access up there, but they do have a lift that goes from deck 11, and it's kind of like one person, and then you go up, and then you can go get off and go up there. It would be a great place if it was warm weather. Great place to watch movies. And, but
no.
Yeah, they had a chance to go the second night, and they're like, I'm not going. It's too cold.
Nope.
Because again, it was summer and it was cold. So let's look at where we went. So we left Reykjavik, Iceland, and we were supposed to go to, and I'm really bad with names, and I'm really bad at pronunciation.
I'll try to pronounce.
Akureyri.
Yes.
Yeah, but we went there, but we were supposed to first go to, our first stop was Isafjorda. Sorry if I get it wrong. No, that's not the right correct name. No, that's what I call it. But I've looked it up, and it's Isafjorda.
Sorry.
So we were supposed to go there first, which is north of Reykjavik, but there was a big storm, so we couldn't go that way. So we got on the ship and we had to go south around, again, to the top of Iceland. But because we did that, the first night on the ship, we had come home from dancing, I'm sure. And I looked out, because I was always on the lookout for Northern Lights, because that's one of my things that I've always wanted to see is the Northern Lights.
Yep.
And so I was getting Maddie ready for bed and got her into bed. And then we were always checking, let's look out. Well, at about, I think it was 11:30, we looked out, and there was this beautiful, the sun was just setting because of how far north we were. Beautiful sky, and then all of a sudden it just exploded with the Northern Lights. And of course we had this beautiful huge balcony to look in the back of the ship. It was real dark, and so for about an hour, my cousin and I, and Maddie was too cold and she was in bed, we stood out there and we took pictures, so many pictures, it was so beautiful.
Yeah, but I was able to see your footage, and it was amazing.
Right, yeah, because I wanted to take all the pictures I can, which I always do for Maddie when she can't get to some place, is I take lots of pictures so that she can enjoy it as well. So when everybody says, "Oh, you take so many pictures," it's like,
That's because
Maddie, yeah. But after about an hour, I mean, it was 12:30, and we were tired, so we just went to bed. It was just so amazing, and it's hard to photograph them because they movement. It's constant movement, and my husband and my cousin were not able to actually take photos with their regular camera because of the movement. It was just constant movement. So I had my iPhone. I just upgraded to a 13 Pro Max, and it took some great pictures. Some of them were kind of blurry because, again, it's constant movement.
Well, you took video mostly.
No, I took some video, yeah, because again, it's constantly moving. And another thing about the Northern Lights is you can't see it with your eye. It's like a wispy cloud, a white or gray wispy cloud, and then you put your phone up to it, and your phone is able to see the color, which is just amazing to me. So we would just be looking, and we'd see this wispiness, and then we put the phone up, and it would just be green and purple, and it was just beautiful. So I'm sharing some pictures as we speak now. It was phenomenal. So we got to do that the first night. And then there was a day at sea because of having to go all the way around the southern route. But the next day we got to Akureyri. Again. Akureyri. Yes. And that was a beautiful little, I don't know what you call it, town, village, probably a village.
Town-ish.
Yeah. But I have not had much luck with accessible shore excursions. So I go out and find other places that will take us places. Tours by locals is great, but there weren't any tours available in
Akureyri.
So I went out and found another place. I just searched on the internet, and I found a great company that took us, and we went to see, where did we see? Godfoss.
Yes.
Godfoss.
Yes.
Waterfall, which was amazing, huge. And then we weren't able to go, we were supposed to go to 2 waterfalls, but we couldn't go to one because the road was closed because of, I'm not sure why, rock slide. I don't know. It was something where the road was closed because of a natural.
Probably because of the weather.
We were in their summer. But I think it was a rock slide. Yeah. But we also went to a cute little place called the Christmas House. And Maddie was able to it's a shop, and they have other shops around it, but they have all kinds of Christmas stuff, and we love a good Christmas shop.
Yes.
So Maddie was able to get into the first floor. She couldn't get downstairs, but again, I went down and I bought some stuff, and then I took lots of pictures so she could see it. And it was the cutest little thing, and they had little Santa's clothes hanging on the clothesline. And some flowers. Yeah, it was a really cute place. So we got to see those 2 places, and it was very neat. Iceland is full of waterfalls, so it was great to see all that. So then we got back onto the ship, and we were on our way to Greenland, but we went through, do you remember where we went through? What the name of it? Prince
Christian Sound.
Prince Christian Sound, which is like a fjord in Greenland.
So pretty.
And it was amazing. It was about 6 hours long.
It was amazing. Just glacier after glacier after glacier.
Yes, it's anybody who's been to Alaska
Iceland is.
Well, Greenland. It was in Greenland.
Oh, sorry.
The sound, the Prince Christian sound, was like Alaska on steroids.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, Maddie, when we were in the back of the ship, and for 6 hours, we just went through this fjord, and then just glacier here and glacier there, and these beautiful rock formations and waterfalls.
Yeah, it was great.
It was just amazing. It was, so much better than Alaska.
Yeah.
You think?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and I've never seen that many glaciers in one place.
Nope.
And at one point, the ship stopped and turned a 360, so everybody could see every part.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing.
Pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So then we were off to Kakortok. Again, don't use my pronunciations.
Yeah, I don't know this one, sorry.
Kakortok. It's in Greenland. It's a beautiful little village. Unfortunately, because the summit does not have access to the tender platform, Maddie wasn't able to get off the ship. Nope. And it's such a shame because I had set up, I had arranged for a helicopter tour of a glacier, and she wasn't able to get off the ship. So myself and my cousin went, and we got off, and they
did video.
Yes, because we had said, we're going to go on this helicopter ride. We went, and I think the helicopter name was Sermtech, SERMEQ, and they were very nice to work with. They were going to take Maddie up, even though they didn't have a lift to get her into the helicopter. They were going to figure out a way to get her into a seat so that she could go on the helicopter. She couldn't get off because we landed on a glacier, and we landed on another, I have no idea what it was, but it was just top of this huge mountain, and she wouldn't have been able to get out of the helicopter, but at least she would have been there, because landing on the glacier was amazing. It was beautiful. Kind of shows you what climate change has done, unfortunately, but it was so nice to do that, because we were supposed to do that on another cruise, and it got canceled because of the weather.
I'm just thankful you could take video.
I did. I took lots of pictures again.
It was cool.
and video.
Yeah.
So this little town was a cute little town. The only place we stopped at in Greenland, but you could see it from the ship, and it was a cute little town. They had a lot of red and blue and green and yellow buildings, some pink, but it was really a cute little town. So then we were off. We went to, our next stop was St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, where again, I had arranged for a company. I found this company, and it was actually a strange little name, Jelly Bean Tours. Nice man. He had a van, and again, I approach people if it's not wheelchair accessible, because a lot of things aren't, but if I'm able to get Maddie into a vehicle, lift her in, and then we can fold up her wheelchair, then we're off. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If you have a power chair, it's not going to work, but if you're able to have some flexibility, you can do lots of stuff. Yeah. So I approached this person, and I said, this is what I have, a daughter, she's in a wheelchair, I can transfer her into the car. And he said, sure, we'll make it work. So he actually had a van. Maddie always sits in the front seat because it's easier to lift her in.
And I can see. So.
And she can see better, yes. So yeah, it's easier because of the seats in a van. If you ever looked at a van, the front seat is closer to the door. So, and then the back seats, you have to you're lifting up, and then you have to lift over, which isn't safe. So we always put her in the front seat.
Yep.
Got the wheelchair in the back, and we were off. And we went to this cute little part of St. John's, and then we also went to it's called jelly bean tours because there's jelly bean row houses.
They're very colorful. They're literally, well, not literally, but they look very much like jelly beans.
Yeah.
Or jelly bean colors.
Jelly bean colors, yeah. Yeah, it's a really cute part of town. So we went there. We went around to another place, and I don't quite remember where it was, but it was fun. We saw a lot of the countryside, and we had a really good time. So then we our next stop was Halifax, Nova Scotia. And that was that a tours by local?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a tours by local. And again, even with tours by locals, first I checked accessible tours. And if there aren't any, then I will look and see if there's hiking or anything involved, or I simply, because it's private, you're paying for just yourself and however many people are coming along with you. A lot of times I have found that they will adjust the tour, but unless there's climbing stairs or something, I will ask them, can Maddie come along? She doesn't always get out, just because it's a lot to get in and out all the time.
Just for mobility reasons.
Right. Or, again, I take a lot of pictures. I get out. I take pictures. We did that with the rainbow trees in Maui. Have someone
that will take pictures and video for you because they are invaluable. So
And again,
thank you.
Yeah, that's why we have lots of pictures on our phone. So we went. He took us up to Peggy's Cove.
Oh yeah, Peggy's Cove was very nice.
It was very nice, and little fishing villages, as did Newfoundland Jelly Bean Tours. We also saw some cute little fishing villages. Because fishing is a big thing in Canada.
Wasn't there like a little beach? I think
there was, yes, and I got some shells, but don't tell anybody. Yes, so he took us to a little beach, and then we had lunch. We had fish and chips. Took us to a local restaurant. We had fish and chips, and then
it's fun. It's good.
What else did we see? Oh, we went to the first thing we went to before. And another thing when you take a private tour is you get ahead of all the tour buses. So we were able to go into the Titanic grave site.
I remember.
And again, Maddie didn't get out.
No.
But, we were right by it. And again, I took lots of pictures.
Well, I had to learn some of the history first.
Right. He told us a lot of the history on the way over there.
Some of it was I didn't understand, so I just looked it up on the internet.
Right. Because there's a lot of information. But it was really neat to hear a lot of that history and the stories behind it. So then, I think there were sea days in between, but then we got into Boston.
Yeah.
But it was just a really, really fun trip. And, at first, Maddie's like, Iceland, I don't want to go to Iceland.
Because I'm so used to going to tropical places.
Right. You're used to, the tropics. But at the end, I said, Maddie, would you go back?
Yes. Yes,
I would go back. The cruise, even the ship being, and I don't know if they always use the summit, but Celebrity only does this itinerary 2 times a year. I think they leave from New Jersey or New York, and they go to Reykjavik. And then we picked it up in Reykjavik, and we come back to Boston. So they only do it in August, but it was just amazing. And I would do it again too. The whole cruise. The whole cruise was amazing. Reykjavik was astonishing. beautiful.
Yeah.
More so than we could have ever imagined.
And there's some surprises in the next video.
Right. And next week we're going to discuss what we did in Reykjavik.
What we did before the cruise.
Before the cruise. And one of Maddie's dreams came true. And I'm not going to tell you what it was, but here's a little hint as to what she got to see. Yeah, so in our next video, we're going to talk about our week there in Reykjavik before we got on the cruise. So, I think that was it.
Yeah.
Pretty much the ship was amazing, except for the things we didn't care for were the deal or no deal.
Yeah. But
theater seating.
It's okay.
And the no accessibility to the tender platform, so Maddie couldn't get off in.
I would highly recommend doing silent disco. You basically put on headphones and
she'll always recommend that. But we would highly recommend this cruise to anyone with mobility issues, because you get to see so much, even when you can't get off in Greenland. And hopefully they'll change ships so that you'll be able to. So yeah, because I would love to take Maddie and have her be able to see the glaciers and
I mean, it would be cool. It would have been cool to land on it, but I'm just thankful that you could take video. And
right.
That's priceless.
Yeah.
That's priceless.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is it for today.
Bye.
If you like this and you want to see more,
like and subscribe. And tell your friends.
Yep, because we're going to have lots more adventures
Yep.
and some tips and tricks and
More adventures, more wheelchair adventures.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.